everyone, and you are listening to Deep Talk with Vasavi on KCMO Talk Radio 710. You know, I cannot stop thinking about last week's show with our guest, Simon T. Bailey. You know, between reading his book, Release Your Brilliance, which you can find on Amazon.com, and watching Oprah's Life Class, my cup is overflowing. I watched Miss Iyanla Van Zandt on Oprah's Life Class, and she spoke all about pain. And her definition of pain is to pay attention inwards now. So that's what she said pain stood for, is pay attention inwards now. You know, the conversation between Oprah and Iyanla was rich. And one thing that really just stood out for me was when Iyanla said that that part of our problem with pain is that we are addicted to it. We're addicted to our story, our painful story. You know, we've talked a lot on Deep Talk about this infamous story. And if you remember, Lisa Nichols was on a few weeks ago, and she said that there is no way you can get to the other side of the door where happiness, peace, and prosperity lives while we're still holding on to our story. And you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a story that you tell maybe 5 times a week, you know, and it's a story that you tell people whenever you're in pain. And I want to ask you, who would you be without your story? What could you do if you let go of your story? I want to know. I want to help you drop your story. So give me a call at 913-951-1764 and sign up for your 30-minute coaching session today. And you can also go to my website at www.vasavikumar.com. Today's topic and guest is very special to me. Well, it's very special to me at least. But our guest today, my guest today, is my dad, Shanti Kumar. And our topic, the reason why I chose him, is all about love and kindness in spite of everything. Now, I got to warn you, I don't call my dad the traditional name of dad. I refer to my dad as Padaba, which translates to, in our native language, it's called Tamil, which is the southern region of India where we're from. We're from Madras. Padaba translates to silk daddy. Now, I know that sounds kind of sketchy, but I promise that the deeper meaning really just means that he is pure as silk. And he is. His thoughts, his feelings, his actions. Never have I seen my father judgmental or demonstrate hatred towards anyone. He truly is someone that I like to say, you know, when he speaks, his words are pure and they're untainted, free from judgment. And throughout the show, I'm going to be calling him that. So just letting you know. And I should also let you know that he doesn't call me by my name, which is Vasavi. He calls me Vachi. And he also puts the word Kanna at the end, Vachi Kanna, which essentially translates to, you know, Vasavi darling. So you're going to hear a lot of that. You're getting deep into the Kumar family today. So get ready. So, you know, I've been receiving many phone calls and emails about how to be kind to other people, how to be kind and firm with your kids, what the boundary is with being kind, but also how do you maintain healthy boundaries with other people? I've often struggled with the practice of kindness, partially because really so much of my childhood was spent defending myself from getting beaten up emotionally, and I even got beaten up in the first grade. And I swear for a majority of my life, I'd been running from people because I always feared that I had a target on my back and I was going to be attacked. So I really did spend much of my childhood defending myself. And I was also really afraid of being teased for being Indian in an all-white school, for being a different religion. So I learned from a very young age that I had to protect myself and give it back to others if they were rude. That often left me feeling extremely exhausted. Do you even have any idea how many battles I fought? Because I thought if I didn't fight, then I was weak, that I was being taken advantage of, that I had to stand up for myself. I always thought, you know, if I didn't fight back, I was allowing others to step all over me. Well, let me tell you, it takes a lot of work to be unkind. It's exhausting, and quite honestly, I hated who I was. And as I got older, I felt like I had to be nice to everyone around me in order to survive and to gain their approval. And often, I'm sad to say, the people closest to me, I would treat like crap, for lack of a better word. Well, it's exhausting and totally self-defeating. And one of the main reasons why I struggled so much throughout my life having healthy, intimate relationships. And by working with my coach and really uncovering my unconscious patterns, really looking at the toxic emotions that had me operating from a wounded place, I'm very happy to say that I am free from those shackles, so to say. And if any of this is resonating with you, you can always give me a call to set up your 30-minute coaching session at 913-951-1764. And so my guest, Shanti Kumar, is here to tell you today that you don't have to fight every battle, that kindness and love is the only way, despite the circumstances. And I heard this all the time growing up, and I would tell him, but you don't understand my life. He or she was so mean to me. They said this, they said that, and I'm so offended, and how dare they? And as my father always would say, love is the only answer. So we're going to be talking about that plus much more when we get back. You're listening to Deep Talk with Vasavi on KCMO Talk Radio 710. Don't go anywhere.
KCMO Talk Radio 710 with Laura Ingraham. She's outspoken.
It's the land of reality TV, of hypersexualization of young women.
Opinionated.
Get famous for the sake of getting famous, because that is the ultimate goal. Be famous.
And not afraid to tell the truth.
Paris Hilton became famous because of a sex tape.
Laura Ingraham, weekdays from 9 to 11 on KCMO Talk Radio 710.
You own or operate a business. You know you need to advertise, but you have questions. You aren't sure where to turn. There's a free resource that can help. CumulusRadio.com. CumulusRadio.com has the answers that will help you decide where to advertise, what to say, and how to say it. This free resource has helped thousands of business owners and operators make the right choices, and it can help you find your answers too. CumulusRadio.com. You know your business. We know marketing. CumulusRadio.com.
Did I really retire? Did I really do this? Am I really a retired person?
This is Nadine Peterson on her first day of retirement.
I thought I would be very sad about it, but I wasn't sad at all. I know I'm classified as a senior citizen, but I don't feel like a senior citizen. Retirement is just another phase in life, okay? Most people today live to work. And it shouldn't be like that. We should work to live. And now I can live.
This is day one, the first of over 6,000 days most of us will enjoy in retirement. At Prudential, we create retirement solutions and partner with financial professionals everywhere to make sure you're ready for every one of them. Prudential, bring your challenges. Contact your financial professional today to learn more. Prudential Financial Incorporated, Newark, New Jersey.
Homeowners, did you know a burglar could break into your home and get away in just 5 minutes? A locked door may not be enough to keep a thief out of your home. Think about what you can lose. Then think about this. Now, you can get a free security system monitored by ADT, the leader in home security. Call now and get free hardware, free medical and fire alert, and free activation. That's an $850 value. Call right now and you'll also get 15 free sensors. That's 15 points of protection for free. Call Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer at 1-888-987-3232. You'll get 24-hour protection, and there's no cost for parts or activation. Call now about a free security system monitored by ADT. Call 1-888-987-3232. $99 installation charge, 36-month monitoring agreement at $35.99 per month. Offer valid for 15 hardwired sensors or 7 wireless sensors. Labor charges may apply. Call for terms and conditions to this offer and protect your home license numbers. Call now, 1-888-987-3232.
Vitus contains homeopathic ingredients traditionally used to provide relief.
Can you hear that sound? That ringing, that hissing.
I can't get to sleep with it.
I can't concentrate. I hear it constantly. Everywhere I go, it doesn't go away. It drives me nuts.
It's tinnitus.
A constant ringing in your ear caused by loud machines.
Loud music.
Ah, finally. Quietus.
I love Quietus.
I couldn't believe it. No more ringing in the ears, no more hissing sound. Quiet relief so I can work.
No more ringing, no more loud fans.
And I sleep like a baby.
If you're suffering from tinnitus, I urge you to try Quietus.
After trying Quietus, the ringing stopped, and I felt like I got my life back.
Quietus is real, my friend.
Quietus has changed my life.
Call right now for your risk-free trial of Quietus at 1-800-860-8518. That's 1-800-860-8518. Stop the ringing now. 1-800-860-8518. That's 1-800-860-8518.
99.9% of the Grainger products you order are shipped the same day. And 99% of our customers think that's great. But if you're part of the 1% minority that thinks this is too fast, here's some ways you can slow us down. Talk slower on the phone. Order in a language only you understand. Have your order shipped to a houseboat, then move the houseboat. Or my personal favorite, order a trillion of something. For super fast access to Grainger's over 900,000 products, call, click Grainger.com, or stop by a branch today. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KCMO with a Mark Levin Show, saying what you're thinking, only out loud on the radio. Mark Levin, live at 5 on KCMO Talk Radio 710.
We are back. You are listening to Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710. And we're talking all about love and kindness in spite of everything. Now, what is loving kindness? It's a Buddhist, or as they say in the West here, Buddhist meditation practice. The purpose of this meditation is to extend love and kindness and compassion to others as a mother would to her child. This is the epitome of love, according to Buddhist teachings. Now, this may seem totally unreasonable in your world and in this day and age. Trust me, I have felt the same way before. But my guest and my dad, Shanti Kumar, is going to talk to us today about why this is key to living a full life. And he's also going to talk about why showing love and kindness towards another person starts with you. My dad was born and raised in India and moved to the United States in 1977 with my mother. He has extensive knowledge in Eastern philosophies and has done an amazing job in incorporating these philosophies really practically on a day-to-day basis. Besides being my dad, he is a successful CPA who has 2 firms, both in New York and New Jersey, and he's passionate about helping other people start businesses. And his dream, for as long as I can remember, is to build an orphanage as well as an elder care home in southern India. And I'm happy to say that he's currently in phase 1. So I want to welcome my father, Shanti Kumar, and I'm just going to, just call him what he is to me, Padaba. Thank you so much, Padaba, for being here today.
Thank you, Vachi. Thank you so much for having me on. I am so happy that you are helping so many people with getting their lives in a better shape and applying some of the Eastern philosophy. You are finally living exactly what you always dreamt about, helping other people. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, of course. And, I picked you to be my guest today because you are undoubtedly the kindest person I know. I mean, it's kind of not odd, but it's just being 29 and saying it and kind of reminiscing on what it was like being your daughter. I have to say, I don't think I've ever met a kinder person in my life. And I still to this day don't get it. I don't know how you did it. And I have witnessed people being rude to you, and yet you can still carry on your day with your cup so full, with a smile on your face. And, I don't know if you remember the story that I'm about to share, but the one that comes to mind was right after 9/11. See, to all your listeners out there, we're from New York. My dad's actually calling in from New York now. So we were there when 9/11 happened. And, you and I were going to an Indian restaurant. We were on our way to get into an Indian restaurant, and a bunch of kids drove by and screamed words that I cannot say on the radio. And I was 19 at the time, and I remember getting so infuriated. Like, I couldn't even eat. Yet you just kept walking inside the restaurant, and I'll never forget what you said. I said to you, I can't even eat. I lost my appetite. How come you're not livid right now? And I remember you saying to me, if I allowed every single person and their comments to affect my day, I would be miserable. And I've never forgotten that moment because it taught me in that moment that it is not my job to correct the world. And it also taught me that I'm responsible for how my day goes, and anyone can say anything to me, but at the end of the day, I'm the ultimate decision maker of as far as how I want to live my life. And you always raised us. I have an older sister, Pallavi. She's 4 years older. You always raised Pallavi and I to be kind to others, even in the face of, unkindness. But if you see the example that I just gave, I think a lot of people would feel the need to react. And I want to just start off by asking you, why do you think it's so important to be kind?
Achi, you blew me off, Rakana. I'm so glad that you think of me as a kind man. I guess being kind has something to do either with my cultural background or my age or the influence that people like my parents, your mom, my wife of 36 years, and my own two children, you and your sister, you've had on my life. I think I can honestly say that you and your sister have made me a better, kinder, gentler person. I truly believe that. When you have two girls, you really become kinder and gentler. And I am a lot more sensitive than before you guys were born. I think it also has to do with God has blessed me with that kind of demeanor or that kind of a nature. And more importantly, I think God blessed me with the resources to deal with all the challenges. So when you go back to that incident of that post 9/11, I feel that they were expressing their frustration, but I'm not going to let that ruin my day.
But I mean, so when I asked why is it important to be kind, I mean, for you on a day-to-day basis, I mean, you're a man of integrity. I mean, you guys, my dad is straight as an arrow. He walks his walk, he talks his talk. I mean, he sets a pretty high bar for me, trust me, given where I've come from. But I need to ask you, why is it important for you on a personal level to be kind? How come you don't just flip out at people? Like, why is that part of your code?
I think it has to do with two things. One is to love someone who shows love towards you is very easy. It's very, very easy. But it takes a lot of strength. I think both in terms of character, in terms of discipline, and doing it day in and day out, that you don't dislike somebody just because they are rude to you. Because the minute I start reacting to your rudeness, in fact, even to your kindness, I have essentially given my emotional chain to you. So if one day you say that I am more brilliant than Einstein, should I feel elated? Or if you call me the biggest dummy in the world, should I feel down? So I think for a very practical self-survival mode, I don't want to give anybody else the chain for them to yank at any time that they please.
So what's your fuel for being kind? And how is it possible to do that when and if others are unkind to you?
I think I have a very clear understanding for why I am in that particular situation where somebody is unkind to me. I attribute that a lot to my own karma. If somebody is not nice to me or somebody is nice to me, that means there is something good manifesting or something not so good manifesting. I attribute that to my own karma. Briefly, what is karma? Is just the results of my own actions in this birth or in some previous birth, which is unfolding. Sometimes I get tremendous rewards for some very small thing I did, and sometimes I never get rewarded for a phenomenal work that I did. So it is something to do with I guess the lack of a better word would be luck. It has to do something with luck. I accept that.
So don't you think that there's a fine line between extending love and kindness towards others, even when the other person may not be giving it back or continues to be unkind?
Actually, there are two things at play here. If the other person is unkind, to use your word, it really means they are in a lot of pain. If they are in a lot of pain, and the only way that they can deal with their pain or to unload their pain is to transfer it on to me, I have a very clear understanding of that. I almost have sympathy for the other person because they are so unkind, number one. Number two, I look at it, oh my God, it is some of my karma, some of my bad luck, and it is coming back to haunt me. So I accept it a little more grace. going back to your example of that post 9/11, those people, I think it is their bad luck or bad karma that they are inflicting pain on me. I did not accept the pain. I really went back to the Buddhist teaching. If I don't accept your vulgarity or your abuse of me, it comes back to you. So I think that has worked very well in my life. I don't take anything.
So where does healthy boundaries come in?
I think that is a powerful question that you just asked me. Drawing boundaries is very important. Just because I talk about kindness and I have practiced kindness, it does not mean that I will not draw healthy boundaries. For example, when you talk about healthy boundaries, I know there are some people in my life in the past, I call them, for lack of a better word, energy vampires. They would just suck the energy out
and
of
for my listeners out there, energy vampires are people that just suck the energy out of you.
That's it.
That you're left feeling drained after you leave their presence. Sorry, keep going.
I don't make them part of my daily life. I cut them out. I figure out if they are coming from a place of love. If they are hurting, but still they are coming from a place of love, it's one thing. But if they are constantly putting me down, using sarcastic words, and I don't want them to suck my energy out, because then if I don't have energy left, how can I show love towards my children, towards my spouse, towards my clients? So I cut them out of my life. That is exactly where drawing healthy boundaries comes in.
Do you think that eliminating negative people is an escape route? I've heard that. I've heard a lot of people ask me, well, if I cut that person out of my life, aren't I just avoiding the problem? Don't you think I need to resolve it?
I am very clear about one thing. I was not put on this earth by God in His infinite wisdom to correct the entire world. I'm here to take care of myself first, my family, my wife, my children, my immediate family, but it doesn't mean I'm going to correct the whole world. So if somebody has some other issue, I have to cut them out of my life, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be drained.
So you've always said to me that being loving, being kind starts with you, starts with the individual. And what is like the first two things that someone could even do, or the first two steps? How does one even begin to love themselves? What do you do to love yourself?
Beautiful. That's a very good question. I say start one day at a time. To anybody, because I'm 63, I feel like I'm entitled to give advice. If anybody is younger than me, I would say to them, start one day at a time. For example, I'm going to say this. If you read the Bible and go into the 10 Commandments, clearly it talks about thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal. When you talk about murder, it doesn't only mean physically. I should not hurt another person with my vindictive speech or my derisions or putting them down. So it starts with me. So the first thing I would do is work on loving me and respecting me. Once I love myself and I respect myself, naturally I'm going to respect the other person and everybody else. But how can I love myself and respect myself if I am doing the things which create inner conflict in me, which is going to be a problem for me? So the first thing is I start by loving myself and respecting myself and not doing things which create inner conflicts in my own emotions.
I love that. And, one of the things that, you could even do today to all of you listening is learning to say no, practicing saying no to people, setting healthy boundaries. We're going to talk a lot more about that when we come back. We are talking to my guest and my dad, Shanti Kumar, and you are listening to Deep Talk with Vasavi on KCMO Talk Radio 710.
Today on the KCMO Morning Show with Greg Knapp.
Bringing in Steve Forbes, chairman and editor-in-chief for Forbes Media, and of course, former presidential candidate himself.
Unless either Romney does something egregiously wrong, like 10 NASCAR statements instead of one.
Ouch.
I think that he's going to slowly wrap up this nomination.
Don't miss out. Listen to the KCMO Morning Show with Greg Knapp. Weekday mornings from 5 till 9 on KCMO Talk Radio 710.
Fox News Radio, I'm Liz White. Among the world leaders meeting in Istanbul on the crisis in Syria, Secretary of State Clinton says Syrian President Assad's troops are still shirking their end of a UN-sponsored bargain.
The regime has crushed dozens of peaceful protests. We can only conclude that Assad has decided to add to his long list of broken promises.
Some leaders at the conference in Turkey pledging millions to fund Syrian rebels. Same question, same answer. Rick Santorum says he is not dropping out of the GOP presidential race.
Every question I get is, when are you getting out? I mean, the whole narrative has been in Romney's favor from the beginning of this race, and he still isn't even close to closing the deal.
Santorum on Fox News Sunday, the next voting Tuesday in Wisconsin, Maryland, and D.C. Fox News, we report, you decide.
710. April 1st is going to feel more like the first day of summer rather than spring. We'll enjoy another sunny day with a southerly breeze. Our hot weekend continues with today's temperatures expected to once again climb well above normal. We'll reach a high of 89 degrees at KCI with upper 80s, maybe a few 90s across the listening area. I'm KCTV5 meteorologist Iris Hermosillo.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies, and rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, for a man age 45 non-tobacco user, it's $1 million of coverage and $75 per month level rate for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110 per month, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rate guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote at 1-800-862-8376. That's 1-800-862-8376. You're probably paying more than you should. Call Term Busters at 1-800-862-8376 or visit our website at termbusters.net. Remember, 1-800-862-8376. Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting. Exam required to qualify.
Hey, if you've been listening to this show, then you've heard me raving about Regis. Now, this company provides alternative workspace solutions that can save your company a whole lot of money. But today I want to talk to you about how incredibly flexible their terms are. Now, with Regis, there are no long-term leases. Now, you can office for a day, a year, whatever suits your business needs. Now, Regis offices come fully furnished and wired with a receptionist, and they also give you access to meeting rooms and video communication studios. So that means you can downsize or upsize your office whenever that need arises. And they can have a new office ready for you in 24 hours. Now, the smart officing solution is why my staff uses Regis. Regis, the new way to work. Now, you can join the evolution of officing by calling our friends at Regis today. Now, you get 2 months free if you mention my name. Call Regis. You can schedule a tour. Tell them Sean Hannity sent you, and they're going to give you a customized office solution that adapts to your changing business needs. On the web, it's regus.com/Hannity or call 1-800-OFFICES. 1-800-OFFICES.
Did I really retire? Did I really do this? Am I really a retired person?
This is Nadine Peterson on her first day of retirement.
I thought I would be very sad about it, but I wasn't sad at all. I know I'm classified as a senior citizen, but I don't feel like a senior citizen. Retirement is just another phase in life, okay? Most people today live to work. And it shouldn't be like that. We should work to live. And now I can live.
This is day one, the first of over 6,000 days most of us will enjoy in retirement. At Prudential, we create retirement solutions and partner with financial professionals everywhere to make sure you're ready for every one of them. Prudential, bring your challenges. Contact your financial professional today to learn more. Prudential Financial Incorporated, Newark, New Jersey.
KCMO, where opinions count, especially yours. Take a stand with Kansas City's talk station, KCMO Talk Radio 710.
We are back, and you're listening to Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710. I'm here with my guest and my dad, Shanti Kumar, and we're talking about being loving and kind in spite of everything. Before we went to break, we were just talking about healthy boundaries and saying no, which I know a lot of women struggle with this. A lot of my female clients just don't, it's really hard for them to say no, and we've worked through it. And actually saying no is kind of a rush now. It's almost like, wow, this seems so natural to me. I didn't even know that I could say no and not feel guilty. So if you want to learn how to say no without feeling guilty, give me a call at 913-951-1764. Sign up for your 30-minute coaching session today, or visit my website at www.vasavikumar.com. So I have my dad here. Padaba, are you here?
Yes, I'm very much here, darling.
Okay. So, we were just talking about healthy boundaries and saying no. And I was also thinking about, if you're looking to be kind to others for the sake of approval, I know so many people that don't want to be mean I think they think healthy boundaries is being mean, but I think that's just them honoring their space. If you're looking to be kind to others for the sake of approval, it just isn't kindness. And something that comes to mind is really what I saw in Oprah's life class with Ian LaVanzant. She said, oh my God, I was bawling on the couch when she said this. The way you treat yourself is the way you treat God, because you are made in the image of God. Okay. And that when you extend yourself, even when you don't want to, you're inevitably making the other person a thief without their knowledge. They're taking something from you. And, what I really got from that is it really is your responsibility to set those healthy boundaries. Now, how do you think the healthy boundaries plays into being kind to another person? What does the healthy boundaries have, how is it related to kindness?
I think healthy boundaries starts with understanding yourself and your own emotions and your own emotional needs. First, if you understand the other person who is inflicting the pain on you, who is not saying very nice things to you, mean to you, whether it's your coworker, whether it's your spouse or your child or anybody, can be anybody in this world other than yourself. Once you are truly convinced that they are having a lot of pain which they are transferring to you, I honestly believe you will be more forgiving of them. You won't react to them in a very typical fashion of tit for tat, number one. Number two, if you look deep into yourself, you are very happy or satisfied when you have no conflicts going on within you. So if I were to be unkind to somebody or say something snotty or whatever, I will not be, at the end of the day, I will feel very unhappy and I will have a lot of conflict in my mind, and that's not good for me because ultimately I will end up showing it to somebody, which is not a good thing either. So healthy boundaries goes into two places, really. One, you look into yourself and see what is good for you and try to understand the other person. Even though they have crossed their boundary, they are in a lot of pain. Sometimes you can help that other person. Sometimes you just walk away and draw the boundary right there. No, they have too much pain. I am not a therapist. I am not here put on this earth to take care of their pain. I walk away from them. I've done that.
I know you have. And I know that a lot of times women have this syndrome, right? It's like they're using me, right? And it usually starts something like, if you do not have healthy boundaries for yourself and you say yes to everyone, but you don't get that same amount of, let's say, giving back, then you're going to be left feeling resentful. I mean, I have definitely felt like that. I mean, I can speak to it personally that I'll own it. I give to others. And when I don't get it back, then I'm left feeling empty. And then the worst in me comes out, so, and I don't think anyone wants to see that. And so it's taken a lot of time and it throughout this journey to set those clear boundaries, but it does start with you. You can't expect other people to honor your boundaries if you don't have boundaries in the first place.
But Vachi, I would even go one step further, and I would ask myself, why am I giving? What is the motivation behind my giving? Even to use your thing, it's a giving. Whatever it is, whether it is giving of love or giving of respect or giving of material things, whatever it might be, why am I giving? What is the motivation for my giving? Where am I coming from? Am I coming from a place of want, or am I coming from a place of fullness? For example, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett are the two most charitable people in the world that I know. Why are they giving to help all these causes, curing malaria or polio or whatever? They are coming because all their inner needs have been satisfied. So I, as an individual, have to look into why am I giving? Am I giving to really make up for something which I am lacking? Am I giving love because I have not received love? Am I giving attention because I did not receive attention? I need to ask myself that question.
In one word, and actually it's not in one word, in one phrase, I think the question is, are you, actually it's two phrases, are you operating from your wound, from your from your unmet need? Do you give to others constantly because you did not get as a child growing up?
I think you hit it on the head.
Yeah, are you operating from a wounded place? From the surface, it seems great, right? Wow, you're the most giving person in the world. I guarantee if we looked a little bit deeper and we kind of looked at the relationship with mommy or daddy or some traumatic event that happened, that there is a core unmet need which fuels you to give as much as you do.
Correct.
Or the second is, are you operating from love? And I remember growing up, you always talked about this inner conflict as being a catalyst for unkind behavior. So how are the two related? And how does inner conflict play into acts of kindness?
Repeat the question again?
How does inner conflict play into kindness or acts of kindness?
I think it goes back to examining oneself. Like I always said, if we go deeper into oneself, we will see what is it. I don't know whether it is a professional who's trained in this field or a therapist, or I don't know who is the right person. It varies from individual to individual and what their resources and what they can afford. But we need to know what drives me, what motivates me. And that's where the conflict will be.
Oh, I think it's really quite simple. Like you said, think about it. If you don't have healthy boundaries and healthy priorities, if you're not treating yourself kind, whether it's conscious or subconscious, there's a definite conflict going on because you know that you want to treat yourself with love, but you're not. So that conflict is like a volcano waiting to explode. And if you're not careful, it will explode in your partner's face or, unfortunately, maybe the person serving you your coffee that day. Or, so that's really why, Paraba, I chose you to be on the show because, you are someone who doesn't have drama in your life. Therefore, you're able to treat people kindly.
Absolutely. I thank you for saying that. I am so blessed that my own daughter thinks of me as a kind person. I feel that is almost a vindication or a validation of all that I stood for my whole life.
Okay, well, don't start crying. Kansas City, if you didn't know, my dad's a huge mushball. Okay, so I want to ask you about something that's been brought to my attention and continues to come to my attention week after week. The reason why I asked you to be on the show was because I had so many parents email me and call me to talk about their quote-unquote difficult children. Now, listen, guys, I'm the first person to admit I was no angel. I personally thought I was an angel, but I was a difficult child. We don't have to get into the why or the what or the how. Let's just say I was hard to manage by my parents. They had the problem with me, not me. So one of the main questions I always get is, at what point do I stop loving my child and setting boundaries? Or how do I know when enough is enough? And do I keep giving and giving and giving and nothing seems to get better? What would you say to those parents? And, folks out there, even if you don't have kids, just take a look, see where this applies to your life. But what would you say to those people?
Actually, your questions are very deep, and your show is aptly titled Deep Talk. And without sounding too parental or philosophical, I will this much I can definitely say. Never, never give up on your kids, because they are God's gift to you. God, in His infinite wisdom, put those parents and those children together. So my first thing is never give up on your kids. And always, always remember, things will get better. You know, in my family, especially with my parents, they struggled with two of my brothers. But in God, in His infinite wisdom, He did what He had to do. And sometimes things go our way, sometimes things don't go our way. But if you go back to what I originally said, that is what is destined to be, that is what is ordained to be. But going back to difficult children, this I know for a fact. I can only control the path and the journey which I have to make in this life. My child is a distinct individual from me. I have a big role, I have a big influence on my child's life. I can help them, I can guide them, I can do all these things, but ultimately the son or daughter, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, whoever, grandchild, has to travel on their own path. That is their destiny. They will travel on their path. All I can do as a parent, as a grandparent, or anything, all I can do is set a good example, live a good life, and set a good role model, be a good role model to these people. And I should not use sarcastic words. And I should not put down somebody else. I should not gossip about other people. You see, if I'm fully aware of my actions, I really don't have to preach a lot. You know, this is why Gandhi was so well respected in India and in fact throughout the world. He rarely preached. He simply practiced what he had to do, and that is why he was a great teacher. So that's what I'm going to tell to all your listeners. I don't care if you have difficult children, but you just pray to God and they will be fine. Nobody is difficult in the true sense of the word, because God, in His infinite wisdom, made them in His own image. So you have to just have faith in God and pray more, and everything will be fine.
So, if you had to give 4 words of wisdom to all of our listeners out there that struggle with being kind to themselves and kind to others, what would they be?
Wow. See, the word kind, with the healthy boundaries and the other things that we talked about, really, if you break it down, K-I-N-D, just think of it. Take K. If use that for knowledge about myself. Once you have knowledge about yourself and you accept the cards that are dealt with to you. For example, some people are born physically 100% healthy. Some people are not healthy. Some people have good jobs. Some people have good education. Some people have the money. Some people don't have the money. Once you have knowledge about yourself and realize that whatever you are today, whoever you are today, wherever you are today in your life, that God in His infinite wisdom, He made you who you are. And that is true with every other person who interacts with you in your life.
So you're saying the K is knowledge about yourself, having that awareness and to really understand who you are.
Absolutely.
So what's the I?
I would be integrity. When I say integrity, I mean total integrity. If my words, my actions, and the example that I set for my children, for my spouse, and for everyone else who looks up to me, if they are in line with my inner conscience or my inner voice, that is integrity. There is no conflict there.
And I just want to put a little spin on integrity. You know, Parava, you said total integrity. I also think that the minute you have the awareness that something is out of integrity in your life, you're back in integrity. Now, the next thing that you got to do is put it back into integrity. So if you're noticing, let's just say your finances are not, they're out of order, that you're spending more than you have. The minute you say, okay, you know what, I got to do something about this, you're back in integrity because at least you've now committed to doing something about it. You have the awareness.
Absolutely correct.
I don't think the goal is to be in 100% integrity. I think it's always to the best of your ability, keep it in line. So at least you're somewhat aware of what's going on as opposed to it just basically taking up your energy in the background.
Beautiful.
Okay, what's N?
N, I would say, is need for self-love and respect. I think this has been the theme of my entire life, that if I love myself and I respect myself, then all my interactions with the rest of the world, including your mother, including you and your sisters and everybody else, will be totally fine. Because if I begin to learn to love myself and respect myself, naturally I will respect you and I will love you unconditionally.
And before we wrap up today, what is well, I almost gave it away. What does the D stand for?
D is for discipline. And honestly, every one of us, I mean, we all have problems with discipline. I struggle. I love food. And even though I go to the gym, I do all these things. I love food. One day in a week, I'm supposed to fast. One day out of 14, I'm supposed to fast. But I don't really do that because I love food. So D for discipline, and that's where you come in. A life coach like you will hold somebody who wants to be more disciplined than yesterday. They want to be more disciplined. A life coach comes in and holds them accountable. And I think discipline is something which we all struggle with, and we have to do that. Whether it is going to the gym every day or going for a walk or taking our medication, whatever it is, diabetes or hypertension, whatever the thing is.
But thank you so much. I really, I appreciate it. I know all our listeners did, and I will, thank you so much for being here, okay? And I'm going to call you later. So,
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Guys, we're going to go to a break. You're listening to Deep Talk. This is Vasavi on KCMO Talk Radio 710.
KCMO Talk Radio 710 with Dave Ramsey.
You don't get to keep the car unless you pay it. A demand that you and your wife stop your freaking overspending, and the student loans are going to be there, period.
Financial freedom mixed with common sense.
Get your stinking cars paid off. Teach him wisdom. You can attack this debt and work your way through it.
Tune in to Dave Ramsey, weekdays from 11 till 2 on KCMO Talk Radio 710.
Nutritionists and scientists agree that blueberries have amazing antioxidant properties, but eating blueberries alone won't get you all the health benefits you need. That's why I created Blue Science, a revolutionary line of nutritional supplements combining the best of blueberries, blueberry extracts, and other special plant extracts. One capsule of Blue Science contains more pterostilbene than 500 cartons of blueberries. Pterostilbene is a compound found in blueberries that helps your body's cellular activities. Unlock the power of blueberries with Blue Science. Available at Walgreens and GNC.
Motorcyclists often seem rather intimidating. Rough and tumble. Real bad mamma jammers. Little do folks know they can actually be quite sensible, especially if they insure their motorcycle with Geico along with their car. Geico's multi-policy discount could save them quite a bit of money. Did I just say bad mamma jammers? Do you ever say something and think, I wish I'd never said that? This is one of them times.
Call Geico or visit geico.com today to see how much our multi-policy discount could save you.
Homeowners, did you know a burglar could break into your home and get away in just 5 minutes? A locked door may not be enough to keep a thief out of your home. Think about what you can lose. Then think about this. Now, you can get a free security system monitored by ADT, the leader in home security. Call now and get free hardware, free medical and fire alert, and free activation. That's an $850 value. Call right now and you'll also get 15 free sensors. That's 15 points of protection for free. Call Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer at 1-888-987-3232. You'll get 24-hour protection, and there's no cost for parts or activation. Call now about a free security system monitored by ADT. Call 1-888-987-3232. $99 installation charge. 36-month monitoring agreement at $35.99 per month. Offer valid for 15 hardwired sensors or 7 wireless sensors. Labor charges may apply. Call for terms and conditions to this offer and protect your home license numbers. Call now. 1-888-987-3232.
Quietus contains homeopathic ingredients traditionally used to provide relief.
Can you hear that sound? That ringing, that hissing.
I can't get to sleep with it.
I can't concentrate. I hear it constantly. Everywhere I go. It doesn't go away. It drives me nuts.
It's tinnitus.
A constant ringing in your ear caused by loud machines.
Loud music.
Ah, finally. Quietus.
I love Quietus.
I couldn't believe it. No more ringing in the ears. No more hissing sound. Quiet relief so I can work.
No more ringing. No more loud fans.
And I sleep like a baby.
If you're suffering from tinnitus, I urge you to try Quietus.
After trying Quietus, the ringing stopped, and I felt like I got my life back.
Quietus is real, my friend.
Quietus has changed my life.
Call right now for your risk-free trial of Quietus at 1-800-860-8518. That's 1-800-860-8518. Stop the ringing now. 1-800-860-8518. That's 1-800-860-8518.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies, and rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, for a man age 45 non-tobacco user, it's $1 million of coverage and $75 per month level rate for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110 per month, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rate guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote at 1-800-862-8376. That's 1-800-862-8376. You're probably paying more than you should. Call Term Busters at 1-800-862-8376 or visit our website at termbusters.net. Remember, 1-800-862-8376. Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting. Exam required to qualify.
Greg Knapp.
Coming up Monday on the show, 8:35, Charles Murray. He's written the book Coming Apart, The State of White America. And at 5:35, Steve Forbes on the Republican election and oil prices. It's all on the KCMO Morning Show with Greg Knapp.
We're back, and we've just finished talking to our guest and my dad, Shanti Kumar, about being loving and kind in spite of everything. And my dad had 4 words of wisdom to all of our listeners out there that struggle with being kind to themselves and kind to others. And the acronym KIND stands for knowledge about yourself. First, be really aware. Learn who you truly are at the core, despite your story. I is for integrity. Do your words and your actions, are your words and actions in line with your inner conscience? N stands for the need for self-love and respect. This is the most important part, I think, of being kind, is really you have to start with yourself first. How can you give something to others if you don't give it to yourself? And lastly, D, discipline. That it's really up to you to set those healthy boundaries and have those priorities. And really, if you're looking to have someone keep you accountable, then you know that you can call me at 913-951-1764. That is the primary role of a coach, is to keep you accountable. So remember to tune in next week, because my guest, Sam Silverstein, is all about you having no more excuses in your life. You're the only person that you need to have the life of your dreams, and there is no one to blame. Not your mother, father, sister, brother, wife, husband, or ex-boss, or God. This is your life. And when you own who you are, nothing can stop you. And the first step is to own every bit of you, all the parts. A coach can serve as your accountability partner throughout your journey, so give me a call at 913-951-1764 or visit my website at www.vasavikumar.com to sign up for your 30-minute coaching session. It's been an absolute pleasure and honor to talk to all of you today. Until next time, this is Deep Talk, and I'm Vasavi Kumar on KCMO Talk Radio 710. Be kind to yourself.